Hackers unknown. All righty then. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Well, unfortunately for the Democrats, the job rate is growing. Finally, we got a president in there that's bringing us the money, the jobs. That's where your money's at and all your potential in your lifetime. Right there. How's everybody doing this morning? I come across a little something I thought would be pretty cool to show you. Isn't that cool? Look at this. That's a Ukrainian, a Ukrainian jet and base.
This Ukrainian Air Force pilot strapped himself into the cockpit of a MiG-29 fighter that had no business carrying the weapons it had bolted to its wings. Within minutes, this 40-year-old Soviet fighter would attempt something its designers never imagined: delivering French precision-guided bombs against Russia's most feared security agency using American GPS satellites and Ukrainian software held together by zip ties and a prayer. As the pilot taxied toward the runway, he could feel the weight of history. No one had ever attacked an FSB facility in this war. The intelligence services were supposed to be untouchable, protected by layers of security and the implicit understanding that some targets were off limits. Until now. The mission profile was insane, even by Ukrainian standards. He would have to fly at treetop height to avoid radar, then suddenly climb to 5,000 meters for the weapon's release, a maneuver that would light him up on every radar screen from here to Moscow. He'd have...
Zou jij €1000 betalen om de...
That's kind of crazy, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, it's a little bit crazy. But here, watch the rest of it.
Determination toward a date with Putin's feared security service. The FSB would soon learn what 3 years of Ukrainian innovation could accomplish. At 06:15, the pilot's MiG-29 screamed across the Ukrainian countryside at just 50 meters of altitude, so low that his jet wash was bending wheat fields and scattering birds in terrified clouds. The terrain following flight was exhausting. Constant stick and rudder inputs to avoid power lines, cell towers, and the occasional farmhouse. But it was the only way to stay invisible to the Russian radars that infested the border region. The margins he was flying in were incredibly slim. The S-400 systems protecting Belgorod could track and engage targets at 400 kilometers, if they could see them. But the Earth's curvature was the pilot's friend today. At 50 meters altitude, the radar horizon was only about 25 kilometers. As long as he stayed low, stayed fast, and didn't make any mistakes, he would remain a ghost. But in exactly 3 minutes, he would have to abandon that invisibility and climb right into their crosshairs with some less than ideal tech. The target coordinates glowing on his iPad, yes, an actual iPad duct taped to his instrument panel, marked the target. The Federal Security Service headquarters in Glotovo, Belgorod Oblast. Just 5 meters from the Ukrainian border. This wasn't some random military depot or ammunition dump. This was Putin's old agency, the successor to the KGB, the organization that had orchestrated countless operations against Ukraine. The 2 AASM hammer bombs hanging from his wings that he would soon deliver represented everything wrong and right about the mission. These French-made precision weapons were never designed to talk to Soviet avionics. The MiG-29's 1980s era computer systems couldn't.
Okay, blah, 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 blah. They took a really fast old plane, they gutted it and re-outfitted it. There's your GPS system. How do you like it? They armed it up with NATO missiles and whatnot. But you can do that to any plane. Don't listen to them when they tell you, oh, it's not supposed to be able to do this or that. This plane could do anything any other plane could do as long as it's got the electronics in it. Except for stealth. You ain't gonna get no stealth out of it unless you put a stealth package in it. And good luck with that. These planes aren't really worried about that.
But all that sophisticated technology meant nothing if the Soviet jet couldn't tell the French bomb where to go. That's where the iPad came in, running software that translated modern targeting data into something the bombs could understand. It was the digital equivalent of duct tape, and it was about to be tested against the most sensitive target Ukraine had ever struck. At 0622, the pilot hit the initial point and yanked back on the stick. The MiG-29 responded instantly, its nose pitching up to 45 degrees as the G-forces crushed him into his seat. The altimeter spun wildly. 1,000 meters, 2,000, 3,000. His radar warning receiver exploded into chaos as every air defense system in Western Russia suddenly saw a fighter-sized target climbing into their engagement envelope. The cockpit filled with electronic screams as search radars locked on. The S-400 battery southeast of Belgorod was painting him with its 9.2 N6 gravestone radar, measuring his speed, altitude, and heading. In seconds, the fire control system would have a solution. But the pilot had one advantage: surprise. The Russians had less than 45 seconds from detection to engagement, and their procedures were built around conventional attack profiles. They would never expect Ukraine to do something so crazy.
You gotta be kidding me. How do you not expect a plane to come in flying low to avoid radar, which they all do, and tell me you weren't set up to defend your base against it? Are you kidding me? Man, you got to put them posts way up above them trees and then put your radar up there in a circle. If you ain't doing that, you ain't protecting your base. Because any plane can sneak in on you.
Systems measured every tiny deviation. The bombs were now flying themselves, making hundreds of micro-corrections per second to ensure they hit their pre-programmed coordinates exactly. The toss bombing maneuver he just performed was a relic from the Cold War, developed when nuclear-armed fighter bombers needed to deliver gravity bombs without flying directly over their targets. The physics were simple: climb at a steep angle, release the bombs in an upward trajectory, then get out of dodge while momentum carried the weapons to their target.
This plane they're talking about, MiG-29, is a badass plane in its day. You can say it's equivalent to the F-15. They were widely known for competing with F-16s in dogfighting, if that tells you anything about them. It was a badass plane in its day, and even today, it's still a good plane. Just like we've had the F-15 all this time, well, they're not letting go of the MiG-29 anytime soon, per se. They're going to keep the good MiGs and out with the bad. But this jet was so old, the Russians sold it to Ukraine. Ukraine bought old jets, refurbished them, and that made up their Air Force, different kinds of jets they got from Russia mainly. After the Cold War, Russia was broke. He needed money to reform a new government. So that's how he did it. They sold off all their military hardware. Not all of it, but most of it. And then they went to work and rebuilt the country. And I mean, it could happen to any country if you get, robbed by the world mafia like they're trying to do here in America by getting their Democrats elected into office so they could steal your national reserves. And they were already doing that too, weren't they? Yeah, this is all fine and dandy, but basically they hit the damn base and voila, it's a done deal. There goes a couple of defensive missiles.
But all that sophistication came with a critical weakness: time. The S-400 needed around 10 seconds from detection to engagement when dealing with low-altitude pop-up targets. First, the search radar had to detect and classify the threat. Then the fire control radar needed to lock on and develop a firing solution. The missile itself required 3 seconds from launch command to leaving the rail, then the flight time to the target. Against high-altitude bombers or cruise missiles with predictable flight paths, this timeline worked perfectly. Against a fighter executing a toss bombing maneuver, it was catastrophically slow. This was where the S-400's sophistication became a liability. The system was optimized for aircraft and missiles, not small guided bombs. The 48 N6 missiles were massive weapons designed to knock down bombers, not surgical instruments for intercepting precision munitions. It was like trying to swat a fly.
The S-400 is their old version. They still use them, but that's the version that they'll sell off to their allies. And it's a damn good radar system. Of course, they've upgraded now. They got the S-500, and now they got the S-600. But no country has been reported of being allowed to purchase those from Russia yet. So if that tells you anything about Russia's upgrading and capabilities of its military, it's crazy the technology that we have today. But I guarantee you, if we have it, Russia has it. And if Russia has it, we might have it, and we might not even know about it. But pretty cool little memo deal here. You can go look up and get a gist of that. That's all happy-go-lucky wartime shit right there, though, right? SpaceX is redefining the cosmos, the ad said. Really? I had to go listen. Yeah, in terms of how much it costs you to send a payload up there that's much bigger and heavier than anything that's ever been put up there. Yeah, he's saving us a lot of money as far as fuel is concerned. Fuel cost is the biggie. That's the biggie when you're launching something into space. Anybody could take some tubing and put it together, if you will. Anybody. But it's the kind of fuel that you use and how much is it going to cost you to launch every single missile, because that's what it is. It's a missile. Well, it's a rocket, yeah, but it's like a missile. Fire or forget, man. You fire that thing up there, it's going up there. And unless it blows up or your self-destruct button or maybe something just goes badly wrong with it and it just crashes back down to earth. But the technology we have these days is getting better and better and better. I saw a fake ad today. Trump's tariffs are unfair to most Americans. Oh, we need you, the people, to vote for us the communist Democrats who work for the mafia. So we need your sympathy. That's what this is. It's a bunch of bullshit. But you see ads like this all the time. And I mean, they're flooding the damn internet with these kind of ads. Look here, right off the bat. Trump's tariffs are unfair to most Americans. The first sign that an ad is fake is when you read the headlines, and the headlines itself is bullshit. Because his tariffs are benefiting and are going to benefit the American people. Jobs are already pouring back into America. There's going to be so many jobs here, y'all going to have to go looking to find a homeless person. And then when you find one, it's just they just don't want to work. And then they want to give you their spin on how they can actually be beneficial to you. Oh, shut up. I don't even want to read no more of the stupid ad. There is a good picture, though. I like the picture. That's about it. The only thing good about that stupid ad. Because if you're going to tackle the problem with something, you're going to address what the problem is ahead of time. They're not doing that in that ad. That tells you the ad is a really long story stacked together like a pyramid. If we could get you to believe these three things, then you get to step up to the next level. And then we're going to really sucker you in with the next ad, and then the next, until you reach the very top of, you're stupid. Rosie O'Donnell, she just got to keep making the news. Poor Rosie O'Donnell. Lord have mercy. Bezos is a great business person, obviously, the founder of Amazon. Uh, he's got his own space thing going and all of that, making all that money. He's into a lot of things, that guy. One thing he does, he always goes with the winners. His favorite baseball team is, well, whoever won the championship, the last championship. Uh, his favorite basketball team. Oh, okay. What team is the champions? Football, same thing. Who won the championship last year? Yeah, that's my team. He's one of those guys. Anything that's a winner, he likes. Or he wants to be seen supporting. Donald Trump's no exception. He went from a little bit of bashing on Trump to rubbing shoulders and whining and dining with him. Of course, every billionaire wants the ear of the president. And when you get somebody in there like Trump, who's a businessman, hey, businessman to businessman, I got a few things I'd like to chit chat with you about. And, well, there you go. It is what it is, baby. But I got to tell you, Rosie O'Donnell is one. Oh God. Oh God. Has anybody seen her lately? You seen what she looks like? Man, and the good Lord was passing out good looks. He bitch slapped Rosie O'Donnell. She went from butt ugly to, ugh. Oh God. She got stretch marks on her fucking cheeks. Something definitely wrong with this old bat. Yeah, rich old bat. She's a bat. Look at her though. Oh God. I feel sorry for her, really. There's no way on God's green earth she's ever had a man who adored her for her looks in any kind of way. I promise you that. So no wonder she's a mad hatter. Boy, she's fucking mad at the world. Hates men. She's 63 years old, bashing Jeff Bezos for his lavish yacht. He's got that multi-$100 million yacht. Nice fucking, the very best yacht. Bezos got his own submarine. He's got a couple submarines actually. He had a very lavish kind of fucking wedding. Their lavish outing was in Italy. That's a beautiful place to go, get married in. I mean, if you can afford to go anywhere on the planet to marry somebody, why not go to Italy? Italy's known for romance, love, happiness, good things, good tidings. Why not? Me personally, I don't know if I'd want to go to Italy for any fucking thing. Take Italy, stick it up your ass. I'd rather get married in a fucking Jamaican rainforest with a thunderstorm coming down. But that's my personal view. I mean, I like the rain. I'd rather be out in the jungle getting rained on or somewhere outside than to want to fly, take all that time to fly to another fucking country over there in Europe to get married. Fuck you. Nah, I'm not making that trip. Sorry, babe. You just ain't getting married, I guess. Shit. You get married in the backyard, baby. I mean, I'm that kind of guy. Let's just go sign the fucking papers if you want to put it on paper. How much money you say you had again? Oh, good Lord. She's only 63 years old, and she looks like she's 93. I mean, usually you don't see this kind of wrinkling on somebody's face this bad until they hit, mid 70s. I mean, if my face looked that goddamn bad, I'm saving every fucking penny I got to get my face stretched out. Slice it, put it together, stretch it, make me look, 10 years younger or whatever kind of thing. But I'm never going to end up like this. Fuck you, man. No. You know why she got stretch marks on her cheeks, don't you? Oh, yeah. That mouth's constantly staying open. She developed all them muscles because if she ain't sucking on something, she's busy talking. And she had all that muscle up in her cheeks. Combination of losing a little weight. Nah, it ain't lost near enough, but I'm just saying. Yeah, she has done good on that end. She has brought her weight down. Remember, before chest was sticking out there like Humpty Dumpty. But along with the weight loss, you got muscle loss in your cheek. I guess that, when she hit it in her 60s, she just wasn't able to do the things she used to do when she was a wee little girl. Like 26 years old or whatever. 23, how about that? But at 63, I'm really, even the last picture I seen of her was pretty bad. And I really thought that, unfortunately, the next bit of news that I would hear about her is that maybe she just, took an overdose or something. I do. I feel that bad about her. I mean, if I was that fucking ugly, I don't know if I could stand it or not. But, ooh, God. And then she comes up with this fucking hillbilly butch hairdo. I wouldn't wish that on a dead dog. If you call that grooming, oh, God. Bitch, how much you pay for them teeth? Because you ain't no way you groom them teeth properly. I wonder if that's a fucking wig. No, I don't think it is, but you never know. Look at these fucking glasses she got on. I'm like, oh, God, are you serious? I'll tell you who might want to have a little fling with somebody as ugly as her. John Taylor. Come on down, Buddy Rowe. Where you at, buddy? Come on, Johnny boy. Where you at, sweet pea? Because I don't know if y'all seen Kelly Taylor lately, but she looks worse than Rosie O'Donnell. Now Rosie got the money; she can pay for whatever, and which is no excuse to run around with stretch marks all over your face. By the way, you need to get that taken care of. And she's just like the rest of the Democrats. With Nancy Pelosi's ugly ass shows up to work, talks to people on live TV channel. She's drunk as hell, and you know she is. Who does that? Who goes to work drunk as hell pretending to represent the American people? That's just fucking ludicrous. And then you got Maxine Waters. Oh my God, Maxine would make her look damn near fuckable. Yep, that is one ugly ass hoe. But old John Taylor's wife looks uglier than that. Of course, in her defense, I think she has Rosie O'Donnell beat by like 10 or 15 years. I think she's about 73, I believe, isn't she? So she got an excuse. She's got 10 years on Rosie. But I'm not sure it would be a dead heat. It might be dead even heat. But no, actually, there's Kelly has no chance here. She definitely by far the ugliest fucking bitch I've ever seen in America. She always got black marks on her eyes or, fat lip or something like that. And then she always got the excuse, oh, I bit my lip. Damn, what happened to your eye, baby? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. And notice what? You got a black eye. Tell us, what kind of fight was that? What was her name? You couldn't find out. That's John Taylor. He beats his wife on a regular fucking basis. He's just used to it. And when he beats her too hard, well, then she leaves him for a few months and then comes crawling back to him. And they both use the same old fucking excuse. I've grown so used to you, I'm glad I'm back, but I'm not. They both say that, by the way. This is a common reoccurrence by abusive couples, where you have one couple abuse or one spouse abusing the other, but they keep getting back together. You got a fucking problem right there. There's a huge blast, cars flying all over the place apparently, as Israel strikes and hits a crowded Tehran area on video. Oh, they finally missed a shot and accidentally hit a few civilians. Oh, guess what? That's what Iran's been doing. What happened to the ceasefire? That's what I want to know. Oh, I guess they're still at ceasefire. Okay, my bad. I thought this was something new at first. I was like, what the fuck? No, this happened during the Operation Rising Lion, where Israel unleashed on Iran before they were going to agree to the test or ceasefire. Trump said he believes it's the largest bombing raid of its kind ever in history, bigger than anything ever launched in World War II. And we were bombing Germany on a regular basis. And that's what we had to do to beat them. Oh, look here. Look here what I found. Looky there, looky there, looky there. See, the Mexican flag and the Iranian flag are almost identical, right? You turn it sideways and you got a Mexican flag. Now you know how they came up with their flag colors. Some dude from Iraq was on one of them fucking Spanish galleons, probably a slave captured in combat somewhere, lost a battle. You know, they actually used slaves on those ships a lot of times. And the guy probably ended up in Mexico at some point, and you know he survived the atrocities, whatever was going on there. And, well, whoever this person was, he's responsible for this flag ending up over here in Mexico. And that's the difference. Just turn it sideways. Look at these fucking cars. They got these cars, perfect picture. Probably caught in a video or something, but look at this. Look at the cars fucking flying, man. I love this photo. I could probably turn it into something. I'm going to save that photo. Just pro quo. Later on, I'll think of something to do with it. But that's pretty cool video. There ain't no video on it or nothing like that. Of course, fucking bastards don't never want to show you the goods. There's a video, but what is that a fucking video about? This video is related to Israeli air defense. Got nothing to do with this fucking story. If you just show me the picture, why tease me? Where's the damn video? I want to see these cars flying start to finish. See, but it's pretty cool that somebody was able to get this picture like that right on time. It's fucking fantastic. Ugh. So David Walls Kaufman. Oh, this guy's stupid. This guy's really stupid. And he's a chiropractic. I don't know if y'all seen this news yet, but you definitely might want to get a giggle and go check this out. Watch this. This is the guy who they say beat the police officer, who later on went on to commit suicide. The wife sued him for $1 million, and they awarded her $500,000, which is great. I mean, she come out of there pretty good. He served 60 days in prison on misdemeanor charge that he was at the rally, while it was going on, or what they call it insurrection, but it was nothing other kind. It was just people that were dumb enough to show up at that stupid event. You're going to pay the price. You're going to get arrested, you're going to get hurt, or you're going to hurt somebody and end up in prison. You're not going to be anybody good there. Everybody's there doing drugs, illegal narcotics. I can't fucking tell you. And if they ain't doing it, you found you a dummy, because they don't belong to the core of who's throwing those events. But she had to pay her late husband estate $500,000. On the finding that Walls had indeed assaulted Jeffrey Smith, the officer, on January 6th. And here's the funny thing. He goes into the White House, starts bragging about how he got in a fight with a police officer. But watch what happens. They got him on video. How did they supposedly look at all this video and not put charges on a guy? This is one of the guys that was helping the FBI to sucker people to this rally, and then to try to create some type of insurrection and then blame it on Donald Trump's voters. The problem is every fucking group at this event, I would say it's probably 99% of all of the groups that were at this event were anti-Trump groups. I know of several of them, and they all pretended to be to the right, doing all them videos and shit. I found all the dirt on all of them, all the proof. This guy belonged to one of those fucking groups. But check this out.
This case, an acknowledged scuffling with police. In footage obtained by CBS News, Walls Kaufman. Footage obtained by CBS News.
Okay, listen to this.
Rioter David Walls Kaufman pleaded guilty in his case and acknowledged scuffling with police. In footage obtained by CBS News, Walls Kaufman can be seen here on Jeff Smith's body cam. Arun Smith sued Walls Kaufman for assault and battery, alleging he struck the blows that injured her husband. Last month, after a lengthy trial and 2 hours of deliberation, the jury found Walls Kaufman liable and awarded Smith $500,000.
It only took them 2 hours to find him liable. So whatever video evidence they had, they say it's very conclusive. That if you get the whole video, that it shows him attacking the police officer. Or him falling on top of the police officer or whatever, swinging. Basically, he's the one that did it, and they know he's the one that did it, so he just up and pled guilty. I'm guilty. I did it, Your Honor. Fuck, why deny it? I'm not even going to try all them fucking cameras flying around. I'm sure somebody got me on the video. But his biggest fucking mistake was when he got inside the White House. Out of his mouth, he started bragging about how he got into it with a police officer. And that live stream that he did from inside the White House is what got him guilty on this fucking charge, believe it or not, that in the video. But mainly because he admitted to being, in a fight with a cop. Well, let's go look at all the cops that were assaulted. All their assaulters are accounted for except for this one. This guy's the one that did that one. But they got a lot of evidence. But I can tell you, this guy didn't even question. He walked in court, Your Honor. Before we get this show road started, I'm fucking guilty. How much money do I owe? And his backers are probably going to pay it for him, not him. They'll probably give him, a good chunk of it anyway. But how do you get so stupid you do some stupid shit like that? Do I did he do it? Did he not? Do I did he dumb did he do? Sean Combs is not guilty. At least on the two big charges, he was found guilty on. No, 3 charges. 3 out of 5 he's not guilty on. That's their verdict on those 3. 2 of them, they had already reached a verdict, but the judge, keep looking, right? But it still turned out that way, that 3 charges he's not guilty on. And one of those charges is the biggie charge. It would have landed him life in prison. What y'all saw was a witch hunt. That's all it was. It wasn't no different whenever they went after Fat Albert. It was all bullshit, the whole fucking thing. Same thing when they went after O.J. Simpson. He ain't the one that fucking killed his wife. That Goldman dude with the blonde hair, he's the fucking one that did it. And I'll tell you how I know that. Because he got up in that fucking courtroom and lied his fucking teeth. Straight out of his goddamn mouth. According to him, he went to Pluto and found his teeth and brought them back. Because they fit so good, he had to have those teeth. Look, he lied in the trial. And I can prove for a fact that he lied. He should have been brought up on charges of anything, but this is a fucking crooked court system we got these days. We need power. We need police to police to police. What we need, and if you got a few of those units operating in your state, well, they can, investigate each other if needed. You dig? It's whatever there. Set up your own check and balance system in there. But we need police to police to police. That's what we need. Somebody who has authority over them at a state level. That's what we need. We need the states to start committing major funding to policing the police. We've got to have that eventually. We need it now. We needed it 20 years ago. But here it is. We don't got it. If a cop does something wrong, you're hard pressed to hold them accountable for it. I was lucky last time I ran into a situation where the cops were absolutely in the wrong. And they did something about it in my behalf. I really appreciated that. They don't know how much I love them for that. But not because, I was innocent. But yeah, I was innocent. But here's the thing. The first fucking time at a major level I ever seen cops do something to the good on my goddamn behalf. See? They did it on their own behalf too, but really they did it because I reported it and it was part of my request. And so they went in there and did their thing, got rid of them bad weed cops. Fucking A, man. We need a lot more of self-policing. We need like if you live in a state, you should be able to Google online, who do I call for emergency if I live in this state? Texas or Kansas or fucking Nebraska or whatever. You live in whatever state you live in. And they should have a number there you can save to your phone that's kind of like 911. Maybe you're going to dial 199. You can put it at that speed dial 119. You're going to switch it backward, right? You can do that. But it's crazy, man. How we got here is through a whole lot of fucking stupid people getting into our politics. Thank God for the internet. We were able to wake people up, and people are still waking up. Hey, welcome to the family, by the way. If you're a new person who's going to vote Republican, even if you're only doing it so that you could get that $5,000, because you don't vote Republican, you don't stand a chance of getting that $5,000. I guarantee it. The only reason Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill passed is because Vance runs the Senate. And so, because he's vice president. So the tie was 50-50, 100. 100 votes. 50 voted for, 50 voted against. So Vance gets to put in his vote and make it 51 one way or the other. So, of course, he voted in favor of it. So we got it. But we need a lot more people in the Senate, guys. So get out and vote this midterms and vote Republican. If for nothing else, just so you can get $5,000 fucking dollars handed to you from Donald Trump. How about that? But Sean Diddy, he got no game. This guy couldn't even talk his way into house arrest. They wouldn't even let him have that. Consider him too high risk to flee. With his kind of money, if he wanted to leave America, he could do it. But Sean was basically, a judge told him, yeah, you're staying in prison or in the custody detention center until we read judgment. Judgment for Sean Diddy is today. I don't know what time, but I'm sure it'll pop through the news when it happens. Today is the day that we're going to find out what they're going to do with Sean Diddy, or the judge in particular anyway. It ought to be real interesting. But guys, I got to run. God bless. Peace out. All that good stuff. That's where we're at. Trump is winning, and he keeps on winning. And hell yeah. How about that? Enjoy your day, guys.